Welcome everyone to another edition of Willow's Weather Briefing. Today is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. So today we have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms across portions of the central to southern plains. We also have a slight risk of excessive rainfall in central to southern Texas, as well as overall gloomy weather across the mid-Atlantic to Delmarva regions, as well as rain in the Appalachians, the Great Lakes, and the Central Plains. We also have excessive heat for portions of the California Central Valley along towards the southern Great Basin and also the central Great Basin. Generally, temperatures in the western United States are much above average, and temperatures east of the Rocky Mountains are below average. So as you can see here on satellite, we have some ongoing complexes going on right now, particularly some convective complexes here in Texas already ongoing. We do have some rainfall here in the Midwest and Great Lakes region, as well as the Delmarva region to the Mid-Atlantic and portions of the Northeast, as well as some lingering thunderstorms in the Florida Panhandle. So here is our drought monitor map. Our lines demarcate the areas of greatest concern for drought. Here's our current NWS watches and warnings. We have a few extreme heat watches in portions such as central Texas and also the southern Great Basin. We have a heat advisory here across the California Central Valley and some areas west of there. We also have some lingering flash flood warnings or flood advisories around portions of the southeast into the southern plains, and a severe thunderstorm watch lingering there in southern Texas. So here's our surface map for the next few days. We have this pushing cold front making its way southeast, bringing some much-needed cool temperature relief to the southeastern United States along the Gulf Coast, at least for the most part. And we have a severe thunderstorm threat along the dryline in portions of the Central Plains, as well as the far southern plains near the Big Bend of Texas. We also have a severe thunderstorm threat here in central Texas as well. The low pressure system will move off to the northeast, followed quickly by another low pressure system over here. We have tomorrow a heavy rain and flash flooding threat here in the southeast, while much of the eastern United States is still gloomy and rainy. In day 3, that secondary low pressure system moves east and then brings another cold front, bringing again some cool relief to the southeastern United States with a possible severe thunderstorm threat here near in North Carolina and South Carolina, near the central Piedmont region. Here is our excessive rainfall forecast. Day 1, we have a slight risk of excessive rainfall here in central Texas. We expect 2 to 3 inches around this area of central Texas, and 3+ inches around the coastal plain, as well as a possibility of some very localized 3+ inch totals with any training convective cores here in central Texas. Day 2, we have a slight risk of excessive rainfall throughout much of the Gulf Coast of the southeast over here. Includes Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Panhandle of Florida, and southwestern Georgia. 3+ inches are possible across much of this area. In day 3, we have a marginal risk of excessive rainfall throughout much of the Atlantic coast, from Florida all the way up to upstate New York. Day 4, we have a marginal risk of excessive rainfall over here in portions of New England. In day 5, the probability of rainfall exceeding flash guidance is less than 5%. Here is our convective outlook. We have a slight risk of severe weather here in the central plains, as well as patches down here near the Big Bend of Texas, the far southern plains, and also in areas of central Texas. Tornado threat is maximized around areas of southwestern Kansas. This includes Garden City, Dodge City, and Liberal. Also, a non-significant wind risk here in the Central Plains, and possibly a significant hail risk in southwestern Kansas near the same areas that have that 5% tornado risk. Day 2, marginal risk across much of the southeastern United States to southern plains. This is primarily for a small wind and hail risk. Day 3, a slight risk of severe weather here in the central Piedmont region. This includes Raleigh, Durham, Fayetteville, Columbia, and Cary, North Carolina. There's no extended range severe weather outlook because predictability is too low. So here is the heat risk for today. Temperatures are depleting in areas such as southern Texas, but remaining in areas such as the Florida Panhandle for just a little bit longer. But our focus is going to be this heat that's building in the California Valley to the southern Great Basin. These regions, temperatures are expected to shoot up into the mid areas. That's going to last for a few days, Saturday, until heat quickly depletes in that region. Then we have additional slight heat risks for areas such as southern Texas and portions of the Midwest, but nothing too critical right now. Here is our extended range hazards outlook. We have some severe weather expected here in the southern and central Piedmont, as well as excessive heat over here in the same regions that I demarcated before. Excessive rainfall, heavy rain expected in portions of the Northeast and Florida Peninsula. Here's our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, above average for much of the eastern United States, as well as below average for much of the western United States. Here's our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, above average for much of the western United States, particularly around the Four Corners region, and also regions such as the Gulf Coast and the Florida Peninsula, and below average for much of the mid-Atlantic up towards New England. Excuse me. All right, here is our paintball map. We have ongoing storms over here in southern Texas, but that will give way to a reinvigoration of convection. The first round of convection will be that risk in central Texas, possibly as early as noon. That'll initiate and then move off into the main risk area. But the dry line itself will not initiate in areas such as the central southern plains until most likely around 2 to 3 p.m., and that will slowly intensify and then make its way into those risk areas. The risk in these central plains around here seems to be modeled to grow upscale fairly quickly, so the tornado threats will be a bit shorter-lived, but perhaps with any more discrete clusters, you could still get hazards like hail and tornado. The storm coverage down here around the Big Bend region doesn't seem too large, maybe 1 or 2 storms are going to drop some hazards, but looking not too concerning. Same thing for the areas of central Texas. Looks kind of more like a clustered mode, possibly a mode in between this one up here and this one down here, with a little bit of convection associated with those returns there. All right, so that is going to be it for today's weather briefing. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any constructive criticisms, please leave it in the comments below. And also, if you want any specific information regarding your area, please refer to your local National Weather Service or broadcast meteorologists. Thank you and have a great day.